Hey there, everybody. Sorry for that. Different setup today with a Zoom call. In this video, we're going to get a preview of JD Builder, a page builder for Joomla that not Astroid, that JoomDev has just released. And so I'm excited for us to look at that today. And with us, as I change some screens. Oh, by the way, hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in today. Yeah, I forgot my opening. I'm all discombobulated. You know what happened is that the original setup, when I have someone on Zoom, I have to use different setup, and I forgot about that. All right, let's go to, hey, there he is right there, drinking his tea.
Hi. Yeah. Hey
So,
guys, this is Chetan.
everybody, this is
And
your channel friend and my friend Chetan Madaan, and you also recognize his name and voice. We co-host the JoomCast podcast, which we are recording a new episode of tomorrow, which will be played next Monday as long as I get it all edited up. So, Chetan, tell us just a bit about yourself for those that will be watching this and don't know who you are.
oh well, like you said, we I like to use the term "we" because I'm not the only developer here. But yeah, we developed Astroid almost a year ago, and I did a call with Tim introduction. We probably were doing the same thing about a year ago for an hour and a half, and that went well. Hence the reason we're talking again. And Asteroid was before that. We have a template club, so we do all sort of stuff on Joomla. And Asteroid was developed just for the reason because we couldn't find anything fulfilling enough that could deliver what we were looking for. So we were trying to, develop templates. We were trying to do custom websites, and every time we'd have to, do something new with the frameworks we were trying to use. The existing players that were in the market. With Asteroid, the idea was we picked up the best of the frameworks that are in Joomla and the websites we built outside of frameworks as well, and try to put it all together. And that's the theme or the idea with JD Builder as well, because the page builders out there currently for Joomla do offer you great features already, but we were trying again, whenever we were doing a template on the page builder, we had to customize it. We had to modify it to fit our needs. So I think with JD Builder, it's the same concept. We are trying to do something that we know is needed, that we know needs to be done, but does not yet exist. And with the first draft of Page Builder, it's very fresh. It's a new product. You won't actually see all of those features in there. It's really something that you might see, that you will see. You will probably see in the next 6 months or so as the product itself matures, as we have more and more users. But that's the whole idea, to offer something that's very unique and that does not exist in the competition yet.
Yeah, I like the fact that it is out now and that you're acknowledging that there's lots of things that can be done, because I know that JoomDev's very responsive to people's suggestions. So,
Oh,
Chayton,
yeah.
Chayton and I are in a group on Slack, and so there's someone in there who had tons of suggestions, and a lot of them have already been incorporated into Asteroid.
Oh, yeah. So there's this guy John. I think he's from Tokyo. He's Japanese, and he made some really. I think his name is Jonathan or something. I don't
I don't
remember the
think he's
full name.
Japanese though, but he is in Japan.
Yeah. He's in Japan. Well, you can tell from the name he's not
I
Japanese,
mean,
right?
someone would make the same mistake and assume because you're in India that you're Indian.
Right. Right. So he made some great suggestions. And then on GitHub, we have this another guy, John. He's from the UK. Okay, he's actually from the UK, and he made in like past 2 days, he opened up like 60 plus issues on GitHub, and again, all of that very good constructive feedback that every product owner should
Yeah.
appreciate, and every product owner needs basically.
So I have this much experience with page builders. So just for people like me and for others that'll be watching this, and I know for those of you that want to get to the meat of stuff, I'll put a link to where the actual presentation starts. I'll put a link in the description for this video, but still there's foundational stuff that we need to have in place. What is a page builder? Why do some people like page builders? Because I know some people hate them. But
Right.
what's a page builder?
So page builder, now what's a page builder? That's a very broad question. I'm going to try to cover it as simply as I can.
Yeah.
So let's take you, for example. You want to create a good looking website. You want to have nice looking buttons. You want to have, good looking, shadows and everything. And this brings the idea of templates. Why are templates so popular, or why are templates selling? The reason they're selling, or the reason users use them, because it gives you a starting point. You have buttons that look a similar way, or you have your headings that look a similar way or act a similar way, and you just modify it from there. Most people don't even modify the colors. They just put their content on and off they go. So the page builders come in really just as the templates come in. They give the end user, which is you in this case, Tim, to do everything and not have to worry about writing a single line of code. And in our demo video on our website, we keep saying this phrase over and over again, writing a single line of code. It's literally that even if you want to add a border, which is a single line of code, like most web developers know that, you actually cannot do that simply. You have to go through a visual builder where you select a border, you drag it, whether you want 1 pixel of border, 2 pixels of border, and you select a color. So for developers, like someone like me, it complicates things. People are in a situation where they could do stuff easily. I could do stuff easily, but now if I'm doing it through Page Builder, it's not as straightforward or as simple as it used to be. But for end users, people like you who don't want to write code or who don't know how to write code, it makes things much, much simpler and much easier. And I think that's the reason some people hate it and some people don't. If I was developing websites, I wouldn't use Page Builder personally. But again, I'm not developing for myself. I'm developing for my clients who want to have something they can use to edit their pages, and they can use to make changes to their pages. And that's where Page Builder comes in.
Good. Yeah, I think that's a good explanation then. So it's for
Sure.
it's for someone like me, as you eloquently put it. Okay. Listen, share your screen. Let me go.
Sure.
I had to figure out how to make you. I think if I pin.
I can just share it without being a presenter, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you just share it, but I'm just trying to make you full screen on this end here.
Okay.
And,
so I share screen.
Oops, the daisy.
That's...
We'll figure out the settings here. There we go.
Okay, screen one. I want to do it fast. No.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. We can see your screen there.
Let me drag this stuff to the other side. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So how does it start? We go here, JD Builder pages.
And this is after, and I'll put the link is already in the video description to download. And
I'll just go ahead and install it again, so everyone who is watching the video can actually start from scratch if they are.
Sure.
Yep. 1 second. Okay, so you guys can just go here, download. This is a URL. You can copy it, or you can download it to your computer, and go to your Joomla install. After you log in, you're here.
Don't go too fast. No. Here. That's like teenagers teaching me to play Nintendo, man.
Okay. Go to extensions, manage, and install. Okay. Go to install from URL, paste the URL. You can also upload it by downloading it.
Oh my goodness, talking too fast.
Installation the other way. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So this might take a second or two, depending on how fast your web server is, how fast your internet is, and all that stuff. Let's let it do its thing.
Yeah, so to install from URL, you went and copied the download link.
Right. And you can always download it. You can always save it. Just click it, and it'll save it to your computer.
Yeah, so you click on download for free, and then it'll take you there. All right, so there you go.
This is the installation screen that you see, initially. And The documentation is here. So if you have any questions, there's a very good documentation. We're always improving it, but the documentation so far has video tutorials and basic documentation on everything that's in the builder so far. The forum is there. We are around 24/7, literally 24/7, to answer any questions that you may have. And then there's a YouTube playlist that has a bunch of video tutorials that show you how to get stuff done. So we'll click Getting Started. And this is the default view. This looks like any Joomla view. Like if we go to content and articles, this is similar, but we've just added some styling to make it look cooler. It's no different. You have the same search functionality. You have the same unpublish, publish, and duplicate, and all of that. So we'll go ahead and create a new page here.
Now, when you're creating a new page here, you're not creating an actual Joomla article.
That's right. So in the future version, in the version that's probably coming up 5 days from now, in the I think it's going to be 1.1 or something like that, we are going to have that ability where I'll just close this and go back to the article manager, where you can go to the article, and right here you'll have a button which will let you toggle between using this editor or using the JD builder here, the actual builder. So that's something I think I very much like about J2 Store. Again, we talked to Ramesh, and he said, being within Joomla, not going out is very important. But some people just want to have it separate. So we have this too, but in the next version, we're going to have it where you can create a JD Builder page within an article itself. So yeah.
Okay, because that's something that that I was wondering, because you're building a page, but it's not actually a Joomla page. You're building almost, is it like a page template, right, for making other pages?
That's right. So it works like K2 and Virtuemart or Hikashop works. It just creates its own URL, and to display the content, you have to link it to a menu on the front end.
Okay.
Yeah. So so initially it's just recommended to name your page whatever. So. And then save it. And this is the indicator. The red indicator is here when you have changes that needs to be saved. So, all right, so that's our new page. And again, this is the basic toolbar you have in Joomla. You have save and close, save and new, save as template, all of that stuff. And we'll go over these options. Save as template is something that will show. We have live preview, which works great. These are the global options, which we'll go through one by one, and then the close. So standard Joomla toolbar, you have the title on the top left, rest of the options on the right, and here is your editor. So
right now, so you've created a page, and it is absolutely nothing on it. There's not even anywhere to put anything on it.
Right, and I'll open up live preview to show you what it looks like on the front end. So this is what it looks like. This is where the page is. Like, the header is there because it's coming from the template. The footer is there, but inside it's nothing. It's blank.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and at this moment we'll go ahead and use a page, in a pre-created page, and you try to use that instead of building a page from scratch. And then we'll make edits to it, show what the builder can and cannot do.
Okay.
So if you click Add Template, this opens up a library of templates that remotely live on our server, since we update it continuously. And it also has a library of pages. So you can switch between them. You can either do blocks, which is really just the sections, individual sections that can be inserted into your page, or you can do pages, which are full-length pages. So first we'll go ahead and import a page. So these are pages.
So these are examples of full pages. You could say, oh, I want to start with that page just like that.
Exactly. And moving forward, this will improve where you'll have a better preview there, like a full screen image preview before you download or save it. So there are two buttons here. You can add to favorites, which means if there are 100 pages, you don't have to go through all of them again. If you like the page, you can import it very easily again and again. Or second is insert. And should be download, but okay. So if we click insert, what's going to happen is it's going to download the JSON of that page and insert it here. And there you go. You have your page everything that we created right here.
Now JSON, and when you said download the JSON, JSON is basically a text file with the configuration with a whole bunch of information that's imported in.
That's correct. Yeah. Okay. JSON basically, in this case, it's a text file. In general, JSON is used for transferring data between web services.
Okay.
So yeah. And I'll go ahead and save this, and this will refresh our live preview. And so now you can see from having nothing, we went to having this really nice page without doing anything.
Okay.
And all you or anyone has to do is really just come here, start editing what they want to, and they'll be done before they know it. So let's go ahead, go back to the back end. And now we'll spin up the live preview, because that's one of the great features of the builder, where you can do changes in real time as you see them.
Oh.
Yeah. So another update that I'll make a change and kind of show you. So to make changes to anything, you have the gear icon over everything. So you have the gear icon here. Everything has a gear icon, and that's
did you have a lot of coffee this morning?
No. Do I sound energetic?
No, but your mouse is jumping around like it's on crack. So.
Oh, okay. Maybe the mouse had some coffee. I don't know.
I just want to say too, I see the questions that are in chat, and we will ask those. So keep asking them, everyone.
Do you want me to open up YouTube?
Yeah. Johan says powered by Red Bull. No. You go ahead. You show this, and then we'll have the discussion after.
Okay. We'll just put the Red Bull logo somewhere, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me just.
So you mouse over the area you want to edit, and you click on the gear.
That is correct. The gear would open up the pop-up, which has all the settings. Okay. So let's say if we want to edit this part here, teamwork or new landing page, we just click the gear. Okay. And in basic, you have the admin label. In content, you have the heading and the subheading. So this is a subheading element, and we'll go over all the elements here. But very quickly, I can go ahead and change this. I can say, not teamwork.
Now, you know what I noticed is really nice right away is that you actually have on the same screen what you see and what you can change. So it's like, where's teamwork? Oh, that's where I changed this, and you can just do it without toggling back and forth between tabs.
Right, that's the great beauty about this thing. And one good feature, so you can see I changed it on the left, it did not change on the right. And the reason between that is every time we make a change, it actually just does an age exposed. So since I'm on my local server, this is much faster, but anyone using it online, the changes may be slower. So you see what happens when I click my mouse out of it, it does a post, and it recreates that particular section, even though it only takes a second. But this is something that is being corrected in the version that is going to be released Monday. Okay. So what's going to happen is, as you are typing here, this is going to change things in real time, as you can see it. So that's something that's coming up in the version we have Monday, which is 4 or 5 days from now. But that's something new. But this is how you make changes. And, with elements, there are so many options. We won't go through all of them, but let's say, so this is a heading and subheading. You can select if you want the subheading to be below, based on how you want to style it, or if you want the heading to be below, or how you want to align them, and if you want to have a link on them. So many options there.
Do you have options for changing color there?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the basics, right? So we go ahead, heading options, and then we say we want to, change it to red.
Nice.
Okay, there you go. Not red, though, but whatever.
Oh, what? No, that was kind of orange. I like it.
Right. So then you change it to blue. And then you can decide. So this is something very good for SEO, because a lot of times you get, hey, the first heading should always be H1, and then the H2 should follow, and H3. In Joomla, articles are default H3, and you get that problem a lot. So this can fix it for you. So if you use a heading element, put it towards the top of the page, you can select H1 and H2 and H3 and H4 based on however you put them, whatever the hierarchy of the page is. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have the typography. So the typography is something really good, where you can select from a different font. There are system fonts, there are Google fonts, all of that. You can change the size of the font. And basically all the typography options can be edited here for the heading. And then you go to subheading options, you have the different options there.
Now, when you're working on these elements, are they pulling anything from the template? Because I know that this works on Astroid T3, Helix, Gantry 5.
If you don't select anything, then they inherit.
Okay.
So what happens is the hierarchy is, let me just save this and show you. That's a really good question. I was trying to explain it in a video tutorial yesterday, but I didn't do it. So we'll go ahead and add a blank section here. Okay. And when you're adding a section, you just select a grid. So this is 100% white. Inside so green is sections, blue are columns, red are rows, and blue, purple are columns, and blue are elements.
Okay.
So green, purple, red, and blue. So inside sections, you have rows. You can have unlimited rows. They're listed vertically, top to bottom. Inside rows, you can have columns. And columns are a bit specific based on how you list the columns. You can have, 12 columns, each with a different width, or you can have 2 columns, each having 50% width. Inside column, you can have elements. They are vertically listed. So each area would inherit the colors and everything from the area above. So let's say if
you make no changes.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's say if I insert a content element here. Well, content is really simple, but just do that. And in here, we'll just type in heading, a heading, and a paragraph. Okay. And we'll call this a heading, and we'll call this a paragraph. All right. We'll save it, save, and then we'll run live preview. Excuse me. And one more thing about live preview is, let's say, so on the right side, as you can see, we are towards the very top of the page. But when I go editing the content element that we just edit, it would automatically scroll to the bottom of the page. Okay. So that's good. Now we have a heading and a paragraph. If I make any changes here, so right now it's inheriting probably from a row or a column or the section or the page itself. But I can set those settings here, and it will start taking them up from here. So let's say if you want to change the heading color, I'll just change it to red. And then what I'll do is I'll go to the row, and under the row, we have the design settings, and then we have the typography here. And here, I'll change the heading color to green.
Okay.
All right. And then column. And that doesn't work, which is fine. Actually, it shouldn't have turned green too. I don't know why it turned green, because the bottom level has the most importance, which means if you have 2 elements and the row has a default heading color of green, but you have 2 elements, and on the element level you've selected the color red, it should display the color red where it's selected, and where not selected, it should display the color green.
Okay.
You follow?
So it's like nested Russian dolls. Whichever is the smallest one farthest inside is the one that has the control.
That takes priority. Yeah, that takes priority.
And if you do nothing in this, it uses the CSS from the template that you've chosen.
Yeah, so we have 3 levels here. Okay, so 3 levels are here. You have the element level, you have the row level, you have the column level, you have the section level. And if you don't do anything here, it picks from the template. But then you have the global page options as well, which lets you, I think not, so maybe it was layer options. No, global options. Yeah, there you go. So you have, I think, these options where you set these colors, primary colors, and then font family. Again, these are not heading colors and whatever, but these are just some colors that you can set to define how the builder would operate in a whole. Okay. And if you don't set any of these, yes, it will automatically inherit from your template.
Okay, yeah, good. Question answered. All right, Chuck says he likes the icon types in each area, and he likes the color coding. So,
thanks, Chuck.
That's cool.
Yeah. So initially when we released this, we didn't had these icons. So, next to teamwork, you see the icon,
Yeah.
like that's the identifier for content. And then like 2 days later, we realized, oh, this was making sense to us. But now that this is released and the pages are so long, it's not making sense anymore. So the next update is when we included the icons. I mean, still, it's not clear, like this is content and this is buttons. And these icons may change in the future, or we may have better, like this, you can say this is an image. So on the right, you can say this is the image. This is like the global sign for image, but others not so much. So we may change these icons in the future, depending on the feedback we get, to make it easier for you to go through the page and know what element you're editing.
Okay, so you have a sampling or a library of full pages that people can choose from, and then when they
Right.
go into the full page, they go to the respective area and put in their information, and
Right.
and then they can work on that. Now, if a full page, now you've already installed a full page. Let's say that someone uses a page, selects this full page, but as they scroll down on the page, they see that they don't want the make your site on demand part.
Okay, well that's good. Let's find out where that part is. So at the top we have this with this, and then we have this part. So it's this part. And the great thing about this is you can just disable a section and not have to delete it.
Okay,
So there you go. It's gone.
great. Can you delete it?
Oh yeah, you can delete it too.
Okay, cool.
But you're disabling it kind of hides it.
Yes.
So it's not visible to the user anymore. It's not visible on the front end. But if you ever decide like you want it again, you can easily bring it back.
Because one of the things, and I've shown this before, how you can do it in Astroid. One of the things that I've noticed when I am when I get a template for something or using someone else's template, they tend to have so much stuff in it, and there's like, I just don't want it there anymore. I just want these basic things, but not this. And instead of having it hang around forever, it's nice just to get rid of it altogether.
Right. And speaking of Astroid, like I remember at least 5 people have requested it, like in the layout manager, the ability to just do this. So
Yeah.
a lot of people have sections, even in Astroid, again, they're just marginal position. They don't hold any real content, but there's configuration settings in there. So a lot of people have requested, like I said, I can remember at least 5 of them myself, that the ability to disable sections and not delete them. So the same thing that we're doing here. So when you disable it, it keeps it in the back end, but it does not show it on the front end. And that's what would be coming up in the future version of Astroid 2 once we get done with this.
Okay, so I look at your template. I look at the library of pages offered to me, and I see nothing that I want to start out with. So I'm going to do something from scratch. So you can do that as well, right?
Oh yeah, sure. So what we do here is, I think we can clear the whole page here as well. Clear. So yeah, you can go to layout options and clear, and this will clear the whole page for you. So
Okay.
just turn it blank, and we're back to square one where we started.
Cool.
And this one, so now if you don't like the page library, you can use the section library. These are parts of the page that you can insert into parts of your pages. So you have an existing page you created, and you just want to have a FAQ section or a about section or anything like any of these sections. You can just click and insert just like the page, and they'll pop right up.
And that's just one section or one block, you're calling it.
That is correct. Yeah, that's one section. It's pretty, yeah, the height is too much, as you can see it, but that's just one section. Yeah.
Okay, so and then again, you go into the areas on the left.
You make your edits and they'll reflect on the right. So like this is an image, I go here and I can see the image here. Let's say I want to change the image. I just click it. I select a different image. There you go.
Now, you mentioned about the size being, oh, you said the image was too big because that just adjusted for that image there, right?
Right. Yeah. So let's say you don't like this section either. Let's go ahead and delete this section. And you really want to start fresh. You really want to start from a blank slate. You can do that. You can just add a blank section. And inside a section, so again, hierarchy is sections, rows, columns, and then we have elements. And there are, at this moment, 16 elements. This is going to increase to more than around 50 or so when this is running up to speed, in full-fledged
Mm-hmm.
operations. But these sections allow you to create pretty much anything. We'll pick up accordion, for example. Again, this is a simple section that lets you create accordions, and you have two accordions by default. So you go here, basic, and you have two items. You can duplicate items if you want to. So you have 4 of them, 5 of them, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
hold them and you reorder them. So that's something you can do. Or you can just pick them and change the content. So I can say, Tim's video. Thank you for Tim's channel. Yeah. So we can just change it to something like that easily. And you have your accordions right there. And again, there are accordions. You can say whether you want all items to be collapsible, or if you want multiples to be open at the same time, or all of them should be open by default. So just some options that you can create,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then further down, you've got all your other options for
Item
color.
options.
And
Let's say this is individual item. You can say what kind of gap would you have between each item, so that's the padding that's here, and what kind of border do you need? Do you need a solid border? And what's the color of the border? So this gives you a flexibility. Again, I was talking about border in the very beginning, and you can see it, how it works. So to change the border, I have to do it with the visual interface rather than, changing it through, CSS or line of code, going to a CSS file. And you can see, so this is an item, so the red is here, okay, but it's not when it's expanded because that has a different property. So I can say mouse over color, which would be green, and then an active color, which would be this magenta color. So you can see the active ones are magenta. They're normally in red. When I mouse over, they're green. I'll just change the border a little bit so it's easier for the users to see.
Yeah.
So active ones are magenta, and then default ones are red, and mouse over is green. And this lets you create great looking, borders. And
if you use different colors than those.
yeah, don't use these colors.
Yeah.
Don't use these colors. And another option we missed is the ability to add icons. So this can come in very useful. This has over 2,000 icons here, but I can do a WhatsApp icon or a Facebook icon or a Twitter icon or a YouTube icon, and then this would have the icon right here and the next item as well. So it offers great flexibility as far as how you want to style it, where you want things to appear and where not. And so these were the item styling. I can go to item content, which is this part, and I can style it separately if I want to. I can go to item icon, okay, which is this icon here. So the minus plus minus icon, I can change it to what I want. So instead of plus minus, do we need these arrows? Okay, we can do that. Do we need this arrow? We can do that. So there are like 5 of these by default. And then I can select whether I want these to be on the right side or the left side, So that's simple as well. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
And you can just do that for any of the blocks, and then you're in there putting in, picking, choosing what you want.
Right. And you can select the color for the icon too. So I can say I want the icon to be, I want to pick some decent colors this time. I don't know what's decent.
It's too late.
Okay. Yeah. Let's pick black. I think that works. I should. Yeah. And then I'll paste this one here. So you can see, there you go. Yeah. You can see, the expanded one that's different than the collapsed one. Again, I can control the ordering of this, the sizing of this, not the sizing though. Yeah, I can't control the sizing, but you can easily change what it looks like. There are a bunch of options. And if you want to go beyond this, you just write some custom CSS.
Yeah. One of the things that I've noticed in using Astroid is that it's a complete system. So eventually you start to almost, I was going to say muscle memory, but it's just brain memory or whatever. You think, oh, I want to change this. Oh, I know where to look for that color right here and there.
Right.
You just start to find your way around.
You spend a lot of time in this, and then the muscle memory will come. Yeah, and it's true about any system. It's not just this builder or Asper. It's true about any system. You spend enough time, and you have what you need. So yeah. So
all right.
that's an
keep going.
element. And a note for anyone using Astroid is because we had a lot of people on the forum saying they're using Astroid and they're having problems with they're having problems with using the regular labs sliders, because this is what the sliders does. It gives you slides, and you can have anyone who wants to use Astroid but is having problem with the extension. At least on Joomla 3, you can use this for the time being. Yeah. And because I personally love their extensions, regular labs, I wouldn't go away from them. And in Joomla 4, I think they said, Peter said that he's going to have a release, which is going to have a fix for those when Joomla 4 comes out. So 6 months from now, he'll have a fix. But that's one element. Again, we go back, we have a bunch of other elements here. Tim, which one do you want me to open up?
Let's look at alert.
Alert, okay.
The world needs more alerts.
Yes. So we'll go ahead and disable the accordion again. And one more thing, you can not only disable sections, but you can disable columns, you can disable rows, or you can disable individual elements. So I can disable it. It'll stay here. It'll stay hidden here, but won't actually come up in the front end. So there's our alert. And by default, we have a green success alert. So this has 6 different colors. The primary is the blue one. And this goes back to what I was showing you earlier, Tim, where we could select these colors in the plugin backend, in the global options. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just show you again. So global options, edit options. So you could select all your colors here.
All right.
What you want your primary colors to be, or secondary color success, and then use these colors inside not just alerts, but other elements as well.
Okay.
So let's go back to alert. And by default, we have these default colors and stuff. So you have the primary, secondary, which is a grayish, danger is the red one. You can add a heading if you want to. Do not cross, okay, or something like that, whatever you want to, And then you can also display icon. So let's add a close icon to it. There you go. So that's kind of an alert. I mean, a good use would be this page. Let's copy. Right. Protected. Do not copy the contents of this page. Right. So that's kind of a good use. You can see. And if I go ahead and align this center, I think it'll look much good. So I can go here and here. Okay, so that's a good use of an alert. And then down below, your content can follow. And let's say you just want where the user can read this, okay? You can add a dismiss button so the user can read and dismiss it, okay? Yep. Or you can just keep it as is, and it'll always be towards the top of the page whenever the user comes back. User is reminded that the content should not be copied. And again, this is one example. There can be 1,000 examples of what the alert cannot do.
Okay.
Another good thing that is applicable across all elements. So wherever there's a numeric field, like font size, or I wouldn't say numeric, but wherever you think you would want different settings for mobile and tablet, you see this icon. So if I'm editing the heading, let's say if I'm editing the typography for this, and I want the heading to be 49 pixels, which is bigger, but on mobile, I don't want it to be 49 pixels. So what I do is I click this icon and I go to mobile, okay? And it's 49, and I can change it to be 16 pixels or something.
Oh, you know what? This is absolutely something I'm struggling with the project right now. Is that
this is something everyone struggles with because
the font size on
right. The heading is 30 pixels, and it's going to be 30 pixels on desktop, tablet, or mobile. It doesn't look at it that way. But with the page builder, what you can do is you can specify different sizes. So I can say on tablet, I want it 28, but on desktop, I want it, bigger and smaller. So let's go ahead and save this and look at it and preview.
I totally spent most of yesterday struggling with this, trying to get to preview the mobile version of something. It was driving me nuts.
Well, get page builder then. So you can see we're on desktop. This is bigger, 46 pixels or something.
Yeah.
As soon as we go mobile, it's smaller.
Oh,
and
my
when
goodness.
I go to tablet, you see it increases at this size. Tablet is like 768 or something.
That alone makes me want to marry Page Builder.
There you go. Okay. Time to marry page builders. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so we probably don't need to look at any more elements because we
elements.
get the idea in that. What else do you want to show us? So we've seen the library of pages. We've seen the library of blocks.
Mm-hmm. One thing I like to show, let's go ahead and add 2 blocks to a page, okay? And we'll add 2 totally separate looking blocks. So we'll add this one, which has an image and a white background or something like that. So there you go, that's a block. And we'll just delete this section, we don't need it. Or we can keep it, okay. We'll keep it. So one great thing that we have in this is the ability to copy settings from a section to a section, a row to a row, a column to a column, and an element type to an element type. And I'll explain how that works. So this section has some settings where the background is set on a section level. I can just go to the section. How do I go to the section here? I need some more space here. Oh, the section was above. Okay. I'll turn up live preview. Okay. So I can just go to this section and copy the settings of this section. So inside the section, gear icon and 3 dots, and then copy section settings.
Right.
And then I can go back to our section that we created, and I can say paste section settings. So you can see the background changed. It didn't copy the background though. It copied everything I had in the pop-up. Every setting I selected in the pop-up has been copied from the section to this section, whether that be how the layout would work, or whether that be how the background would work, or the background color, or anything that's in the pop-up is copied over, which I think is a deal breaker, because if you're trying to, I'm just going to refresh this page. If you're trying to, keep, you're designing something, but you want to keep the same designs, you don't want to, keep redoing all the settings again and again. You can easily copy settings from a section and paste them onto different, sections as you go on. And this is something, so the pop-up you see right now is, let's say you're in the middle of an edit, you didn't save your changes, but you accidentally closed your page, So you'll see this pop-up, which would say you have an unedited section, which was saved in the browser though. So it saves it in real time in browser, but was not saved to Joomla. Would you like to restore it? I can say restore. And then you see I have my heading background back on. Okay. And then I can go ahead and save it. So this is something very useful when you're doing, when you're creating something, you set up a hierarchy, or you set up some sort of symmetric font sizes and background colors and heading colors and everything on a section level. But then you want to apply those styles to the rest of the sections as well. You can just copy settings or copy styles from a section and apply them to the rest of the section. And again, this goes to rows and columns as well. Any settings that are on a row level can easily be copied on a different row level. Any settings that are on a column level can easily be copied to a different column. So this is something that's very useful. I personally found this very useful.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
Anything else? We got a ton of great questions in chat. But
let's answer those questions. I think that would break the time. Yeah, sure.
Okay, unless there's something key or basic.
No, this is it. Yeah, I mean I can talk about it all day, but let's try to see what the users want. I think.
All right, let's go into here. All right, I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Vinny has learned that I have a white name. How about that, eh? Um, Johan made a comment. He said an extra plus for general clients is that page builder plugins are easier to understand for them, so they can stay away from the quote unquote dangerous stuff. So
That's right.
they're
Yeah.
not
You,
not
you
going to
can't
be
break
in.
anything with page builder.
Okay, no, only the page builder can break it, right?
Right. Right.
Johan asked, has JD Builder a full function front end so non-administrators can use it, so clients don't have to get access to administrator?
Clients don't.
So
No,
can
no,
they
no,
do it
no.
from the front?
Clients do have to get access to the backend. At this moment, they do have to get access to the backend. So the feature I was talking about is the feature I was talking about earlier, where when you're making edits, you'd see the edits live. That will be available in the future version, along with the feature where if you're looking at a page and you're logged in as a publisher or an author or whatever, you will be able to see an edit button and start editing, something like this screen on the front end itself. Yeah.
Okay, so right now they need to log into the back end.
Yes, at this point, yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's go down here. This may have already been. Has JD Builder export options so you can build pages on your own site, and when done, export and import it to the website of a client, including content, images, etc.
Great question, and I think that works very well. Well, not the last part though. So yes, you can close this live preview. If you create a page, or if you create a page, you can just go to options, layer options, and export it. Okay, and then export would just ask the file name. It'll save it on your computer, and then you can import into any JD Builder page and any JD Builder installation, on any website. The caveat there is it does not copy the images for you. So any external media that you have used, whether that be images, videos, or any links to PDF files, or anything that does not live in the JSON, is something that you are responsible for copying. Now, that's something is in the coming versions, we're going to have it because it's something Smart Slider does. It's a great extension. And what they do is when you export the Smart Slider, they create an archive rather than a JSON file, where they give you not only just the settings of the slider, but the images associated with the slider as well. And when you import it, it uploads the images and puts them in their place wherever they're supposed to, and links them within your slides as well. So you get the exact same slider. And I'll add to it, when you add a template from here, the reason you get all those images is because all these images live on our server. So you're really just serving them off our server instead of downloading a copy of the images to your website. So that's something that's up in the list, very high in the upcoming version. Go ahead, Tim.
So right now, when you export, you don't get the images, but does it at least have the information for the image name?
Oh, it has everything. Yeah. It's just going to show a broken image. It's going to show a broken image.
So you just copy your stuff over so it works at that point.
If it's you copy the images folder or wherever you have images up. Yeah.
And you can, if you just go to your save there, or no, to the save, you can save the blocks, or you can, at each of those levels, you can save and export, correct?
You can save. I don't know about export so much, but let's say if I go to this section, okay, and I can just save this section. So let's say I save this.
And that section is going to save everything that's within it.
Exactly. Okay. And I go back to add template, and I go to save templates, and there's my section. I can just insert it or delete it. And I think you can save buttons. You can save columns, rows. I'm not sorry, not buttons, but you can save sections, columns, rows, elements, all 4 types. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. We saw that Chuck said he liked the icon types and the color. Johan asks, is it SEO friendly?
Is it SEO friendly? Well, that's a good question. So let's have a look at these page options, or was it global options? Page options, settings. So you have the basic SEO option here, which is title, description, and keywords. Plus, you have the open graph options as well. This is something people struggle with a lot. And just to give you an idea, what happens is if you create a page and if you're sharing that page on Facebook or Twitter, they're obviously going to pick up the title and the description of the page from the page itself, but then they randomly pick an image. They don't pick the first image or the last image. It's just some random algorithm that always picks the image that you don't want it to pick. Okay, and I've dealt with it 100 times where we hard code images or redo it or whatever, and this lets you override those. So this lets you select open graph settings, lets you select what image is displayed when it is shared on Facebook, when it is shared on Twitter or anywhere on social media. So this takes care a bit of the SEO part. Yes.
Okay. Just a question that popped in my mind at this. Can you use, is there a way to put Joomla fields in, article fields?
No. Why would you want to do that?
If you had if you had information that I think that'll come up later on. A question about dynamic content. In fact, we're getting to it.
Okay. Give me an example.
Well, I don't use fields that often. Someone's probably going to give an example here.
Okay, let's wait then. Let's wait.
In the bottom there. So we'll come back to that.
We'll go with the rest of the questions then. Yeah.
Is SEO friendly? Johan said he used SP Page Builder in the past. Very buggy. Hope JD Builder is stable and fast. And Chuck agreed with that. Can you animate sections or widgets and optimized for mobile ? So I think that if you don't have a setting for each mobile format, as we saw, as you showed, we could go in. What does it still automatically change for mobile devices?
Well, I mean, the default is responsive. So when you open a page on mobile, it's going to show you. It's going to show you the page single column by default. But with the builder, you can go advanced. You can go full-fledged, where you can specify the font sizes or the background colors or anything that you want specifically for mobile and tablet, not for desktop.
So you have it. There. So if you do nothing, it is mobile friendly.
By default, it is. By default, it has responsive grid CSS, which makes it all one column as your screen size decreases. So that's one thing. And yeah, you can do animations. So these are default animations we have. They are, again, on all levels. They're on section level. They're on column, row, and element levels, where you can have these sections coming from the right or left. They're similar to Astroid. We're using animate.css, I think, here as well. So just those very popular animations. And you can bring your sections from any direction you like or have them keep bouncing as you like. And this is going to improve in the future. This is really merely new, the animation part. But this is going to improve as we get more feedback and more people use it.
And what you're showing there is that you're in that FAQ section. You've gone to advanced, and then you found animation.
Right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So does it support dynamic content? So like a blog page, for example. So Joomla articles are shown.
Does it support dynamic content?
Yeah. So I think so. Here we design a page, but we want that to be the page for every blog category.
I think I get it. Yeah. So let's say when dynamic content, you want to bring on a list of articles, okay, or you want to bring on a module that, a content element that lists articles from a particular category.
Right.
And if the content of the article changes there, it will reflect here. Yes, that's so. Hence the reason originally I said we're going to have 50 plus elements, because there are going to be a lot of elements just regarding Joomla content.
Yeah.
Because right now, apart from modules, like one thing you can do in the page builder is import modules in here. So any module, you can import it within your page. But apart from modules, it's all static. And I think the content element is going to make it dynamic. And moving forward, we have plans to improve it and make it compatible with other let's say, third-party extensions as well. So if you want to import a Hikashop product, you could do it. Or if you want to import a EasyBlog blog post or list of most recent 5 EasyBlog blog posts, will do it. Again, we haven't spoken to anyone yet, but I think in the future we may end up developing in partnership with these developers elements that would let you import extension-specific data and still be dynamic. So you have a list of all the Virtuemart or Hikashop elements where you can either import a specific product or have an add to cart button for that product. I think WordPress does it very well with WooCommerce. So we're going to try to follow their lead.
So, and you also have the content element, right, that you can add to a
The
page?
content is really just a WYSIWYG editor. You type in and you see it. It's not dynamic.
No, I was thinking where you go to the so for instance, if I make a page and I want to put a section in and it's going to show the I can't remember what the thing is called. Anyways, this is where the articles show up, or the content stuff shows up.
Right.
And that's going to work for showing, because what I don't quite understand is, let's say I have an existing site, I have 10 articles and they're all in the same category, and I have a link to them as a blog, but I want to use this page format for each of them. How do I do that?
I don't follow.
Okay, let's see here.
And tell me again. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Okay.
No, that's okay. Let me open up something and drag this on the screen, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's my basic Joomla site. When I click on Joomla tutorials,
I can't see your screen, right? You know that?
Oh, that's because you're not watching on YouTube. All right.
I'll open it up on YouTube.
Oh no! Here, let me share it. That'll work too.
Okay.
I'm just a little bit discombobulated being in. I forget that I'm doing this by Zoom. All right. So here's.
Now I see your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here. All right. So I have this page here now showing a list of articles, but suppose this was a blog layout, and no, this is the template presenting it. But suppose that I want to create a page, and so that each one of these articles I open appears inside that page layout. How does that happen?
Inside what page layout?
Inside JD Builder, a page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I said initially, you will have option to write. You will have option to start creating your pages using JD Builder instead of the Joomla WYSIWYG editor.
Oh, okay.
That should take care of that. Yes.
All right. But for existing sites.
Oh, for existing sites, you could even do it for existing sites. I mean, you could do it for existing articles. You just install JD Builder, and then in the article editing screen, you create toggle. Obviously, you'll have to move your content over.
Okay.
So it doesn't do that for you. You'll have to move your content over. But anything else, yes, sure.
Okay. Now we're back on screen here.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, I still have us in the bottom. All right. So yeah, that's just how I was wondering, because so in that case, you're going to end up doing something more in the template system to use existing content.
Right.
All right.
That's right.
Do you see a date? Is there a way for those to be, for one to work in the other, like for the content to work, like core content to appear inside of a page that's built?
Page built by JD Builder?
Yeah.
Yeah. So these elements. So when in the future versions, when you go here, you select element. Here, like you have Joomla module, you'll have options like Joomla article, Joomla articles.
Oh, okay.
Articles within a category. So similar to what you see in the module manager, you'll have those elements which will bring the dynamic content for you.
Okay. That's good. Because because it's always nice to keep things in the core.
Of course. Yeah.
And to use that. All right. So now I'm just changing back to the chat here. All right. So so that is coming. And then regular labs extensions, do they work inside, for instance, article or module anywhere?
Oh, that should work. So the whole Joomla plugin system works. You can do a load position inside an accordion or whatever. It will work. So
Okay.
the whole Joomla plugin system is rendered when the page is displayed. So I think that all of that works.
Okay, so in the case, for instance, of regular labs, and Johan's showing his age there because he called them no number extensions, but in their regular labs now. In the case of regular labs, if you use the module anywhere component, or sorry, plugin, you could just put it inside an element of the page, and that's just going to show. Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. What about adding structured data?
Structured data. So where in future, when we have more elements, I think at that point we are going to have more structured data there. So structured data, for those of you, most people I'm sure know, but those who don't know, it's really putting data in a manner where search engine and bots can read it as well. And it's something that's going to be element specific. So let's say if you have a contact element where you put in your contact information, that can use the address structure data. If you're putting your, yeah, contact is one example I can give you. But moving forward, we will have structured data specific to the element that would help you search engines better know the content of the page and better understand what's on there and what's not.
Okay, something that's coming. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Rick says better late than never. Rick's been here for a while. Rick Span. Johan said he just say the word perfect word. Hey everybody, I made $50 off of WordPress yesterday because I had someone in my community call needed some help. So I thought, what the heck, I'll go give it a try. Johan says, nice extension with lots of potential. Great work. And Vinny, yeah, so this is, Vinny says, so this is set up like K2 where you have content built in there instead of the article manager.
Similar, yes, Winnie. But again, we're gonna go back to having or being able to do this inside articles as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Uh,
So you're
we can do what K2 did. Like K2 had this button very popular, like import Joomla content, and it was bring all your articles and categories over into K2 to give you a kick and get started. We can't do that, but it's going to be a similar setup. Yeah.
okay. Johan asks, is the page good to be indexed by robots?
Yeah, the page has very little. We try to keep it sweet and simple. The HTML, so the HTML doesn't generate any heavy HTML, and the good thing is the CSS is also in a separate file. So we're following where you have all the CSS for the page. Instead of it being the head, you have it in a separate file, and file is updated whenever you're making changes. So that works really well. And in general, I think the page is good to be, indexed by search engines. We haven't specifically looked at that part, and I'm sure we will when you and others use it and get us more feedback. At this moment, we're just trying to get a good number of features at the same time keeping the performance up out. And once that is done, we'll start focusing on other things as well.
So now Vinny asks, will it be more like SE blood that blood? There's only one. Oh, SE blood, whatever. That overlays the article image manager, or that overlays the article manager.
No, so SC blood or blood.
No, I
Yeah,
think it's blood.
yeah. The construction kit they have, I never personally liked it. And no, we're not gonna we're not gonna we're not gonna try to do that.
Okay.
We're not gonna try to override or modify the article manager. It's really going to just where you see the WYSIWYG editor, you're gonna have a toggle button to switch to JD Builder, and that's it.
Okay.
We're not gonna modify any of the rest of the settings of the article manager where you put your title in, where you put the meta or custom fields or any of the other tabs.
Okay, and Vinny says in chat it's pronounced Seb Blood, which of course makes perfect sense based on how it's spelled. Not. Now I do want to open this up for anyone that wants to come on onto the Zoom call. But you mentioned about GitHub, and how people are helping with things. I do not. I'm in the process of figuring that out. And do you want to just show us here how people give feedback on Page Builder, on JD Builder, and what they do, and just how that process works? Because I think that part of the reason that more people don't test is because some of these. Some of the actual method or workflow or how you do it is new to them, and I'll be the I don't mind saying I don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so wherever.
I mean, basically that's the premise behind my whole channel. Is I'm someone who admits I don't know how to do it, and here's what I figured out.
No, let me show you. Let me show you. So you can just go to our forum, okay, and then post a new topic if you have feedback. That's one thing. Go to our website. That's quicker. That's faster. Okay. Or if you like, you can go to GitHub, and there's the JD Builder repository. We'll put the links.
GitHub.com/JoomDev/JD, and then you go JD Builder, okay?
And we'll put a link to that in the description of the video. And from there, you can go to issues and open up a new issue. That's it. Okay. That's how simple it is. And I'll show you some of the issues that someone added. This guy, John, I was talking about. So this first page, you can see he added almost 40 plus issues. These are all by this one guy. His name is Shoulders.
Yeah, his username Shoulders, yeah.
Yeah, so he added all of this stuff within like past.
He's a lawyer, you know.
He's a lawyer?
Yeah, he's a lawyer from the firm Head and Shoulders, Knees and Toes.
I think he actually is a developer, because he has, if we looked up his GitHub profile, he has his own CRM and stuff. So, he's doing something there. But this guy opened up like 40 issues, and, we had back and forth on there, something we liked, something we very much appreciated, and some things that were really, he was overlooking, or,
Sure.
he didn't know where it was. But this is a good way to improve a product for not just for JD Builder, for any product. You go to our GitHub repository, in this case, put a new issue and write out what you think, put screenshots, videos, whatever, and then we'll try to work with you. Yeah.
Now, what? Just going along the top there, explain what a pull request is.
A pull request. So it's called PR as well. Pull request, because. And the way it works is, let's say we have our code on GitHub, which is the Astroid code or the JD Builder code. Since it's public, you can copy, or as GitHub calls it, fork the code. So basically, you have a copy running on your end, and you can make some changes if you want to, like people do for Joomla all the time. That's how Joomla does it, and then when you submit that code back to us for review, that's called a pull request. That's when we decide if we accept your changes and not, and then we can merge it, and then everyone can see that you contributed something to a repository.
So the request is not for me to pull it from here and try it. It's I do something and I put it there and suggest you pull it from there and put it in.
Yeah, it should be called like push request, but yeah, you get the idea.
Well, same thing.
Right.
Because then it'd be then I would say, so it's not that you're pushing it to me, I'm pushing it to you.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
So your pull request is really you're just pushing back a code, and then it's for me to either decide, or whoever the repository owner is, for that person to decide whether that person wants to pull and merge it with the master repository or not.
Okay. Well, that's helpful to know, because when I use things, and I noticed something yesterday, and I thought, I should type this out and explain it in the support forum or something. But I thought, well, is that where they're going to see it? But this is a much better place for, hey, this does not work, or for instance.
Right. This is a great place because again, we're going to try to work with it, and you can see there are all sort of tags here. Some say enhancement, there's a bug, there's a duplicate. Some say the future is bright, because that's something that'll come up in the future, but we don't know when, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's good. Because I do have an account on GitHub simply because I sign up under CyberSalt anywhere I can before it's taken. So
It's a good reason. Yeah.
okay, let me get the link for this to see if anyone wants to come on and speak with their voices. I always say, just have to figure out where to do that. Oh, there you are. Hey, I didn't know I could switch back and forth like that.
Are you pasting it in YouTube?
Well, if yeah, I'm going to paste in the chat. I just don't have the link for it.
You sent it to me in the calendar invite.
No, I know that, but I just have to find it. But that's where, let me just go to my calendar here and get it. I usually paste it somewhere where I can easily find it. But the problem is that I can't figure out how to get back to that screen. So let's see here. There we go. I'm going to copy that link address. Yeah, so if you guys want to come on and ask any questions or comment or discuss, or we can keep taking things in chat as well. But there's, just a sec here. Oh my goodness, it added quite a few things to the link here. I think that will work there. If you want to come on the Zoom call here.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, so that's a handy dandy little tool there. I did not know that worked that way. Any other questions, anyone, or comments? I think it's pretty cool. I certainly can see that it's Astroid-ish in the sense of the user interface and the concepts behind it and ability to do things.
Right.
And I don't see anything other than it looks like Chuck Blue has good set of speakers, so he's having a hard time with the audio.
Oh, okay.
But Rick says, nice extension. We'll check it out. He has to go. Thanks, Rick. That's Rick Span.
Bye, Rick. Who's Rick Span, by the way?
Rick Span, R2H. He has the image, in the Netherlands. He has image.
We emailed him as well. He's the same guy, right?
Yeah. We're trying to get him onto JoomCast.
Come to JoomCast.
Yes.
Come to JoomCast. Yeah.
Oh, all the best guests are too busy to talk to us.
Well, it doesn't mean we're talking are not the best, right?
Yeah. No, the extreme example of that is that I'm available to talk anytime. So, do you want to stop sharing your screen there? We'll put something more exciting up for capture.
Yeah, sure.
There.
Sure.
I think.
You put the chicken there.
Oh, there you go. I can stop you there. Stop participants.
I did it myself. Yeah.
Sharing. Okay. And I think we can. Let's see here. Somehow I get myself up there as well. There we go. I do really think I need to find a better backdrop than me having the camera sideways, because I was broadcasting the side of my, not even a brain surgeon should look at the side of my head as long as everybody has to on YouTube. So I think about it in the works. Of course, if I change this a little bit too much, then we end up going back down the room. So I have to have something more professional there.
Right.
Well, Chuck says, thanks, guys. Nice product. Nice product. He's going to try playing around with it. So,
okay.
Cool.
Right, yeah.
Well, I think that doesn't look like there's anything else that anyone's going to ask.
Yeah,
I'm excited
Johan,
about some of the things you said there.
Getting to water the plant. Yeah, no, I'm just playing.
Inside joke, and seriously, you don't want me to explain it to you.
No.
Chetan really doesn't want me to explain it to you.
No, that's fine. That's why we came up late on the channel.
No, that's all right. That's all right. No, you made it this far. You only have like 2 minutes left before you reach. You don't want to say, "Oh man, I blew it. I shouldn't have said that." I'm saying, like, when I go to, there's some social gatherings that I've been at, and someone else in the room has said something really bizarre and extreme or odd, and it just didn't work. And I make a mental note at that point, and I think, oh, you know what? If I just am careful, for the rest of the evening, I won't be the guy that everyone's talking about. Did you hear what he said? So, anyways, so you stay on. I'll talk to you for a little bit afterwards. But in the meantime, oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Pina, everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for your great questions and your support of this channel. 1,415 subscribers, which is great. If you have any other comments or questions, you can put them. You could put them in the chat here on that comes with this video down below, and you can check out links to download JD Builder in the description below, and you know how to get a hold of us at Basic Joomla on Twitter, or and Chetan's at Chetan Madaan at ChetanMadaan. If you have questions of him, or certainly swing by JoomDev.com. Anyway, so I think that will take care of things now for today. Thanks for tuning in. This has been great. Thank you, Chetan.
Thank you, Tim.
He's quietly hanging out in the background. So, yeah, that's great. I'm excited to get playing around with this too. So, oh yeah, Vinny says add a second camera for when I look at my screen. Yeah, I still need to just have the background better. So. That could, but that's a good idea. And actually, on Prime Day, they had this same webcam that I use here on sale, and I thought, oh, boy, if only I could not need another camera, I'd buy it. But, anyways, so thanks everybody for watching. Till we see you next time. Enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.